Hello, and welcome to Basket Making 101. My name is Edie Moffat, and I am a longtime friend of Cheryl's. I have been videotaping all of the classes and the segments of the basket that we're getting ready to make tonight. I'm really excited to learn how to make this basket, having videotaped them. And here's our teacher, Cheryl.
Okay, so I was on the other side of the camera this time, so I had to get it set up. We're going to continue making this basket until the battery runs out or the memory card runs out, whichever's first. So at some point in time, we are going to stop, and then we'll be restarting when we get a fresh battery, and we dump that memory card. You might remember when we started that first segment that we need to find the bad side of the reed. So bending it over, and then you want to find the bad side, and the bad side goes on the inside. And you're going to just make a little pencil mark and lay it horizontally. You can shove that other stuff out of the way. Then mark another one. I don't have to mark mine because I'm just that good, because, you know, I've made hundreds of baskets. Chairs are kind of squeaky too. I still have to check for the bad side though. I'm just going to lay it down here to see the metal.
It helps if you pay attention to
your teacher. You have to follow along. Now look, I put that horizontal one on the bottom and I put the vertical one on the top. Remember, horizon. This is horizontal. It's with the horizon. Vertical, if you think of the word vertigo, which I've had off and on, it makes you dizzy. You're supposed to be straight up and down. Anyway, Edie, I'm not going to have you mark the centers of everyone.
Okay.
I want you to identify the wrong side, weave it in, and then I'm going to be going ahead and weaving on mine. Play that. We have a little bit of Fleetwood Mac on in the background. So I'm excited that Edie decided to help me with my Skillshare classes, because many years ago, probably 20 years ago, when I had a basket store, Edie used to help me. She helped with all kinds of things.
That was a great job. That was a lot of fun.
It was. That's when I had my baskets as a full-time business, and then life changed
for both of us.
Yep. And I went back to school and got my degree, but I've still been teaching basket making classes all that time. I teach 4-H classes for all the kids, and I teach adult classes. So as in the first segment of the class, what we're doing right now is weaving the base, and I showed these little shortcuts when we started.
And you will notice that I'm much slower than Cheryl. Obviously, this is one of my first baskets.
I made hundreds of baskets. Can you pass me the ruler and the water? Okay, so you two could end up being a little bit more of a speed weaver. So I'm going to measure my bottom, and it's about 4.5 that way, and about 4.5 this way. And I show the details of how to figure your spacing so that you can get it the same distance all the way around. But once again, I'm very experienced, so I can put them together just about where they need to be. Alright. So you're going to notice that I'm going to keep working. I'm not going to wait for her, because she may need some help from me later, and then I will have to stop on this one. So could you hand me the little crimpers? Plus I'm going to stop her, I'm going to delay her process by asking her to hand me things.
Sure.
Alright, so now you've got these holes. Hang on. Clothespins, can you grab some? I want to show you what Edie's looks like right now. So just take one more clothespin,
sure,
so that doesn't fall apart, please. I'm so bossy. Put that
It's
clothespin
leadership
on there.
skills.
Oh, I have leadership skills.
That's what we call it.
Okay. So when Edie put her bottom together, she said she has much larger holes here than she does here. So this is why you can just put them in, and then you have to measure them and get them centered up. So do you remember you're going to measure from the center out this way, 2 1/4 inches.
This way.
And then this way, and this way.
Okay.
Okay. So while Edie's doing that, I'm going to reiterate, as I did in one of the first segments, that you should mark your corners with a pencil, because you may need to line that back up when you start twining. And then I'm going to put clothespins on the corners. Did you hand me a clothespin? Sure. I only have 1,000 clothespins in here. So those I've clothespin together so that as I move this around, I know these corners are going to move, and I want to be able to put them back where they should be. So I've taken my round reed here, that spaghetti looking piece, and it's been soaking in some warm water with fabric softener. I'm going to put it end to end, and then with your little crimpers, needle nose. Actually, this is yet another pair. This is a jewelry making tool that I have. So it's curved on the end, but whatever you have that you can crimp it with. Now, there is another option. If you don't have a tool like this, it's not imperative that you have it. You can improvise. So when I first started out, I didn't have all of these tools, and I used a clothespin, and I used it just to lay it on the table and just kind of smash that. Now, I did not show that in the prior segment, but that's just another way that you can crimp it. So I'm going to proceed with twining, and I didn't clothespin the corners I wanted because I want to start on this center one. So I looped it and crimped it. And now I'm just going to twine. Okay, so Edie, you can stop me anytime that you need to.
I'm just about ready to have you check the spacing for me.
Okay.
And then if I remember from the how-to class of doing the base, I'm going to mark these corners, correct? So
Yeah.
that okay.
Yep.
So before I do that, I'm just going to have Cheryl look at my base real quick.
Okay. And
Just make sure it's all good before I start marking and twining.
Alright. I'm sorry. It's hard to put down once you start. That's how basket making is my crack. Okay, so you measured it. It's 4.5 by 4.5.
Yes.
And it goes that looks good.
Okay.
Let's go ahead and mark your corners with a pencil. In the individual segment on twining around your base, I also used the crimpers to break down the fibers. I haven't been doing that on every corner of this one because this reed is just a little bit softer and it's turning around those corners pretty easily for me. So it just depends on how easy you're getting around with this reed. Sometimes the reed is a little drier. That's why your liquid fabric softener comes in handy.
Cheryl, I'm going to crimp this right around the half mark,
Yep.
correct?
Uh-huh. See, she remembers a lot from those videos. Alright, so I'm going past here. Let me just trim these and then I'll help you get started.
Okay.
Alright, so I didn't get myself prepared with tools. Thank you. That's going nowhere. It's locked in. So I'm just going to trim it. And then I need a tool. I feel like an operating room doctor.
I'm sorry, what?
Tool? I always think it's funny when in the operating room where a doctor scalpel. Okay, so I'm going to end this twining, this little end piece, because it can just escape. So I'm going to use my tool, screwdriver, Tupperware, orange peeler, whatever you've got to get in there. Alright, so you've got your side turned for your bottom right here, so I'm going to loop it over.
She looks so graceful, and I'm fumble fingers.
It's like I said before, you're going to feel like you're all thumbs, and you're going to just say, ah, I'm frustrated.
But it's fun. It's fun.
Okay, so that one that was under is on this one, okay, and you make sure that this is touching, and take the one that's on top here, under.
Under. And make it touch.
Make it touch.
And hold it.
Yes. Help
It's
secure it so
touching.
it doesn't
Then I'm going to
escape.
take this one. Take it under. Push
Okay,
it down.
Now how are you going to decide
Touch.
which to take around the corner?
The underdog, we let win the corner.
Yes, and that's very good. You get the other one out of the way.
And then this is when I crimp right here, correct?
Yes.
Woot, woot.
These chairs are so squeaky. Right? I've tried to use
Okay, so
WD-40
he's
on them.
coming around
Yeah.
in the lead.
Yeah.
This guy is going to come out, crimp to make a nice little turn.
Yeah.
And he's going to come underneath. And look at that beautiful corner
Okay.
right there.
And do you remember why it's important to get that corner nice and tight and sharp?
Because I would think that it will kind of bubble out your side and make it kind of,
Roundish.
Yes,
And
yes.
that's exactly right. It's precision. Now you can either weave down or you can
I
turn.
think it's better this way.
I
for
think
me.
it's easier to go across the top,
Yeah.
or even turn it at an angle and go down.
And you're going to hear me over, under, over, under.
That's
and I'm
right.
sorry, but that's just how I have to do it.
So you just
It's
continue.
been a long week.
You continue on with that. And we both work at Purdue. It was the first week of school, and it was really fun. Anyway, now it was fun. It's over.
It is.
It's
And
Friday.
It's Friday. We're having a girl night. We're making baskets with you all.
Okay, so I just sprayed around the edges because I'm going to turn up the sides now, and that's another segment. And you might recall from watching that I like to just lift it up and bend them over like this.
You come around. Come over.
This gets kind of tiring when you do a really big basket, and so this is not the normal way I would weave, because it's easier if you're weaving with it in your lap or standing up at the table. Much easier. But we're not making it real easy tonight because we're just sitting at the table.
We're relaxing.
So,
Now, I just wonked that out of whack. Thank goodness for those lines.
you wonked it out of
I
whack.
wonked it out of whack. That's what those pencil marks are for.
And I'm just preparing some read ahead of time. I have a piece that is long enough for a couple of rows, and I just pull it out. I don't like to wet the reed and then after it dries out, re-wet it again and again. I don't know why. It just seems to make it a little more drying. So, in and out. That's all it takes. In and out of the water. Okay, so while Edie is twining around the bottom, I'm going to go ahead and start weaving the bottom. And in the earlier segment, we had some pre-cut pieces, and then we also had longer pieces. So I'm going to be letting Edie weave with the pre-cut pieces because it's just easier to start. I'm going to go on the outside of the reed, but not on that one.
All right, Cheryl, I am preparing to come to the finish line here.
Okay.
And I'm
go one more. Yes, you go one more pass. Yeah.
And then this guy here, I'm going to tuck into this one with the tool and then trim.
Correct? You got it. You got it.
Right.
It's like riding a bike. You haven't made a basket in 20 years.
20 years. It's been 20 years.
See how easily it came back?
Yeah.
It's coming back.
Yes.
And because I've been making baskets for well over 30 years, I have many, many different baskets that I have designed and that I've taught. And this is just a basic beginner basket. And we're going to be putting a lot more classes on. You just cut it.
Just cut him.
Yep, just cut him.
Should I cut him like
He's
halfway in
not
the
going anywhere.
spoke so it doesn't like that?
Let's see. Yeah, because he's not going anywhere. He's locked in there.
All right.
Okay?
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Now you can spray and then upset your sides. Now,
That's what mine looks like. Okay.
so that turning up the sides, when I learned how to make baskets, and you will see this if you have any basket patterns that you're reading, could you throw me a couple more clothespins? Don't throw them at me, just...
Oh man, she's fucking everything.
Thank you. I need to move this clothespin over here, but I don't want it to fly apart, so on it goes. Here
I don't know why,
goes.
but there's something just so about turning these. I like this part.
Well, it's a methodical thing. It's like drawing, painting, any craft really, knitting. When you do something that's repetitious, it's relaxing. I once had a woman who came in for a class one night, and I said, "How you doing?" She was a regular student, and she said, "Oh, I have a horrible headache. I have a migraine." And I said, "Do you feel well enough that you can stay?" So I'm overlapping 1, 2, 3, and cutting at 4.
I tell you what, you
We
have
like
those, and I'll
have
have
20
these.
pairs of scissors. Thank you.
We don't need to share.
Yep. So she said, "No, I'll stay and I'll try to make the basket. And if I'm not feeling well, I'll just quit and go home, and I'll come back and make it another time." So about 15 minutes later, I went over and I asked her how her headache was, and she said, "What headache?"
Yeah.
When you stop thinking about the headache and concentrate on something different, your headache might go away.
And I think it's kind of true with anything creative.